Sometimes you do get overwhelmed with everything. You know, just now and again, it just all gets a wee bit too much. It's fine when everything's okay, but it can get a wee bit too much. So, Yvonne, techniques, what should we be doing?
Okay, so we've got 5 real tips here. The first thing is we need to get organised.
Yes.
And really kind of just look at what is it we've got on our to-do list, what can we remove from our to-do list. And I think the very simple thing for many of us is that we have a list of all these different things that we have to do, like Natasha was just saying. But really what we need to do is look at what should I do, what must I do, what could I do. Your musts are important, but then you should see your secondaries and what can you cross off that list. Don't just keep adding to it.
Exactly. And you've got to take care of yourself as well, haven't you? Your health is important.
Your well-being, absolutely. And so just looking after yourself and trying to eat well, plan your meals, be organised. Really vital that you know exactly what you're going to be doing throughout your week, and just a bit of self-love. You know, we all need that. But that's hard for you because you've got, as you're saying, you've got your 4 kids. You've got a panto coming up. Your man's in a panto as well.
Yes, we're doing it together, which is nice.
Well, that's good.
But earlier this year, I went through CBT, and that
CBT.
Cognitive behavioural therapy.
Yeah.
And that teaches you to live in the moment. You sort out what you can now, stop worrying about what you can't.
Oh, that's
you can't
a good
do
idea.
in the future. And it's it's an amazing way of thinking, and it's given me back my life really, because I was just stressed constantly. And now it's like, no, I'll let go of that and I'll worry about it when it needs to be worried about. Just do what you can for now.
That makes sense.
It's so good.
No, that makes perfect sense. Also, we talked earlier on about exercise. I certainly do find that works, absolutely works for me. I can sort of walk everywhere, especially when I'm in London, and I go to my classes with Maxine, and I feel better, mentally as well as physically. I think that's important.
And I think that's the thing with stress, Lorraine. I think people sometimes mix up that stress is just a mental condition, and it isn't. It's a physical manifestation as well. So we need to look after ourselves, get out in the fresh air, just enjoy being outside and, just balancing.
It's a difficult thing. I mean, we were talking to Abby earlier on about what was happening, you know, in Afghanistan, and some of our soldiers that are coming back now, they do have terrible stress, really bad. And some of them find it hard to ask for help, but they're not the only ones. I think all of us are guilty of that. Because it's almost like, and it's not, you haven't failed at all, of course you haven't, but there's that sort of feeling that somehow I should be coping with this.
And I think we all need to just communicate more. The more you communicate, you're sharing your problems and
ask for help. Help is out there, isn't it?
Absolutely. And the first thing, of course, we've all got support networks. Go to your support network. But if that isn't working for you, then go and see your GP, ask for additional help, get the right support at the right time. And I think that's what you did, Natasha, isn't it? You reached out, you got the right support, and it's made a difference to you.
It did. It probably went past the right time, you know.
That's the trouble. It has to get really bad before we start doing it.
But I know I'll never do that again. I'll never get to that, so stress that.
And in our survey, it was work that people were worried about. You know, people generally got stressed about the job that they were doing. And sometimes there's not much you can do about that, or can you?
Well, I think the most important thing is talking to your line manager, and sometimes that can add a stress to us where we think if we're putting our hand up and saying, I'm struggling with this, what do you actually say? So sit down with your support network, ask somebody to help you, write down exactly what your concerns are so that you can go and feel heard and understood and actually move yourself forward.
Some people are self-employed as well, and like that's even harder because you're thinking, well, where's the next job coming from? But then you're worrying about something that may never.
So you've got to
happen.
let it go, as they say in Frozen. Let it go.
Just gotta